Hello, good evening. It's 2 in the morning. I guess it's morning. Good morning. I am bored as shit and I have no idea what to do. So, behold, I will read aloud one of the stories that I was supposed to submit for creative writing last year, but I never got to submit because I didn't finish it. Even though I got like a grade around 90 or something in that subject, even though I didn't submit this. Anyway, yes, I never made a title for this because I couldn't finish it. That was the problem. I didn't make a title for it. So, without any further ado, let's get into reading it. Over here is my name. I blotted it out for obvious reasons. It was for creative writing, 12th grade, humanities and social sciences strand. The project title was short story. It's 3,718 words. What do you mean short? The title, as you can see, Oy, gago! November na! Bakit di mo pa tapos ito? That's not really the title, but obviously, I had to put something there to remind me that it's not yet done. Alright, opening paragraph. Sometimes, some kids get it easy in life. They aren't forced to do what their parents want. They're free to live. That's like an easy pass in life. Those kids can pursue their talents freely. Like like a bird. A bird that soars in the blue, cheating gravity. Right now, I'm a chicken, free to fly like a bird, yet hindered by certain circumstances. Asis, Miguelita Ar. A voice called out my name from the front. I raised my hand to show that proof. Ooh, you never see that. You never saw that. I raised my hand to prove to my professor that I was still alive for the end of the first semester. I won't lie, I hate my name. It's so old fashioned. It reeks of Spanish nobility. Or just, well, my father's first name. My mother probably named me that to remind me that my father, honorable board member of the 1st Congressional District of the province of Nueva Sevilla, Miguel Alfonso I. Assis, has accomplished a lot in his life. Miguelita Romualdez Assis. That's me. Second year Bachelor in Fine Arts student at the Nueva Sevilla School for Media Arts and Design. I live alone in an apartment because my mother, Leonora, basically threw me out of the house when I enrolled myself into fine arts. Sure, I probably might not get a job. Sure, I might be looked down upon by society. Sure, fine, I'll keep it real. I regret choosing this course. All adrenaline I had for college life disappeared halfway into my first year. When the bell rang for the last period, I sighed in relief before burying my face into my arms. Ilang bukas pa ba? I mumbled. My seatmate and fellow BFA student, Rika Inalves, elbowed me, probably to make me sit up straight. What? I turned my head to look at her. It's Friday. Hill and I are gonna drop by the Inter later. Ya comin', Pochi? She pushed her glasses up as she asked me. I sighed nasally and nodded. Yeah, sure, I got nothing better to do. Pochi. Like the strawberry flavored gummy candy. It was available in orange before, but I like that more. It was a name given to me by my classmates during the second grade. Until now, I still don't know if the nickname was an insult, but I do thank them for giving me something to call myself other than Miguelita. Yuck. Rika and I walked out of the classroom and down the building to the school's parking lot. It was around 4 in the afternoon, the sky a calm gray. I hope it won't rain. My college was small. NSSMAD was a 12 floor complex in the suburbs of Nueva Sevilla's technological heart, the highly urbanized Prado Verde city. When it comes to the Philippines, nothing is more urbanized and well planned as a formal American military base. As formal When it comes to the Philippines, nothing is more urbanized and well planned as former American military bases, and Prado Verde is no exception. Actually, It actually continued its American style development long after the Ramos administration told the US to get out of the archipelago. Hold up. Oh, God. We stopped walking behind a blue Nissan Almera, parked under the shade of a lanzones tree at the corner of the parking. I pulled my electronic car key out of my pocket and unlocked my sedan. After tossing my backpack onto the rear seats, I climbed in through the dar- to the drive through the drive I climbed in through the driver's side door and started the car's engine. Where's Hill waiting? Where's Hill waiting? I asked Rika, who sat at the front passenger seat. My friend pushed her thick-rimmed glasses up and brought her phone out of her skirt. In front of the bistro, she told me. I nodded at her and put my hand on the transmission stick. I stepped on the clutch pedal and pulled the stick into reverse and made my way out of the parking lot. Minutes later, Rika and I were at the Intern, a mall in the center of the city. This mall radiated so much Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. This mall radiated so much exquisite energy to me. I always feel like I'm too unprepared to set foot inside. Everyone else going into the mall looked pretty high class compared to me. Take Rika, for example. She was wearing a short-sleeved white polo skirt, a, a short-sleeved white polo shirt, and a knee-length red skirt with white ends. Rika's waist-length hair was black, with low-key brown streaks. Her skin was fair and smooth, too. Comparatively, I was just wearing a blue shirt with a printed mango and brown slim-fit jeans under an open green jacket. My dyed blonde hair was in a shorter length bob cut. My skin was slightly tanned because I had a weird hobby of roaming around the city on roller skates. The point is, I look cheap and I hate it. The meeting place mentioned earlier was a French-themed bistro, Le Bistro Inter. It was the most popular restaurant in the Inter. Our course mate, Hill, or Hilaria Caras, was waiting there with her boyfriend, Terence Agbuya. Hill was taller than her boyfriend and she had brown hair. Both of them were wearing matching jackets like the sweet and sappy couple that they were. What's the plan? I asked Hill after we finished with our greetings. Terry and I were going to buy art supplies, Hill told me with a smile, though Terence was just scratching his cheek. Ria, I was just going to buy extra nibs for my stylus, said the graphics tablet reliant BS animation student, since you lost my spares. I can relate, Rika said. I nodded understandingly when she said that, since I also accidentally lose my stylus nibs. My boyfriend also loses my nibs, added Rika. I blinked and shook my head. I remembered I'm single and I can't relate to people with boyfriends. The 2 hours I spent with my friends at the Inter was sort of productive. After we went with Terry and Hill to buy a new stylus, there were no individual nibs. Terry spent 400 pesos more than he thought he would. We ate at a Wendy's. Terry and Hill hailed a tricycle and left first. I was left at the mall entrance with Rika. Want a ride home? I asked her, but she shook her head. I'll take the UV to Batomol today, she sighed as she faced me. I'm going to visit my parents. Oh, take care. Rika punched my shoulder lightly. Pochi, why don't you go home as well? I didn't comment or agree. Silently, I put my hands in my jacket pockets. I'll see you after sem break then. I was left alone at the entrance. Oh well, there was nothing I could do about it. While walking back to my car, I thought of ways to spice up my week of nothingness. Looks like I finally have time to watch that VHS tape of Titanic that I bought off Shopee a while back. Whatever, I have a whole week. I then went back to my Almera and decided to head back to my apartment. While I was driving, droplets of rain formed on the glass of the car's windshield. The drizzle became wicker than I expected. The sweat forming on my palms slightly concerned me, But I took a deep breath and calmed myself. I turned the headlights on, followed by the windshield wipers. The rain got progressively stronger the closer I got to my apartment. When I finally parked my car in the empty lot up beside the apartment building, the rain felt more like a storm than a simple evening shower. After shutting the engine off, I flicked the dome light on and looked behind me at the rear seats, only to find that I forgot to bring an umbrella. I was stuck in my car. I reached out for my phone in the bag on the passenger seat, and wow, no service. Globe was to blame for this. I sighed. This was going to be a long storm. I decided to wait for the rain to end before going out of my car. It was still 7:08 p.m. If the rain ends before 9, I'm free to leave my car before the day ends. My brain told me to get my phone and start playing music to help pass time. Before I knew it, it was already morning. The bright sunlight coming in from the east flooded the interior of my Nissan and forced me awake. I guess the early dawn wasn't so bad a time to wake up after all. I reclined the driver's seat and scratched and stretched my back. My neck ached, and so did my legs. I guess the circulation just stopped there thanks to my 10-hour nap. Under normal circumstances, I would have been pretty annoyed with myself. But since it was the start of the semestral break, I sighed it off. I reached to my side and grabbed my bag. My phone, out of battery, was on the floor, near the pedals. It must have slipped out of my hands from when I accidentally fell asleep. I got out of my sedan and put my hands behind my back to make my back joints crack. That felt good. I grumbled after the synovial fluids popped. I entered the apartment and walked up the stairs. Room 307, my flat, was located at the end of the third floor. Opening the door, I was greeted by my messy living room. I ignored the pile of cables on my coffee table and placed my backpack on the couch. I walked straight into the bathroom and took a nice, warm, long shower. The rest of my Saturday passed by quickly. I finally got around to sorting out that horrible pasta serving of assorted cables. I also got Pac-Man World to load up on my PlayStation after what seemed like hours of it spinning up inside of the console and played it from my widescreen TV. I boiled a homemade vegetable broth for some instant ramen, and ate that for breakfast and lunch and dinner. My friends seemed pretty busy too. Rika greeted me around lunch on Messenger with pictures of the hilly scenery in her hometown of Batomol, Nueva Sevilla. Hale was retweeting pictures of Terry's art, commenting on the clean line art of her boyfriend's art style. Terry commented on one, saying how the art would have been better if Hill didn't lose his nibs. I wondered how that might go. That night, I slept at around 10 o'clock. I woke up early on Sunday. I was quick to strap my inline skates on and head out to the streets. Elbow pads? Check. Knee pads? Check. Modified steel helmet with my paint on it? Check, check, check. Skating was my little comfort activity. I went around the city a lot, utilizing alleyways and side streets to better navigate the concrete labyrinth. It would take me around 15 minutes to get from my apartment to the nearest cafe, but it was worth it with the experience that skating provided. I ordered a large blueberry frappe and sipped on that as I made my way back to the apartment. After finishing the frap, I took a bath. When I finished, I went ahead and tried another activity for the semestral break, painting. Positioned next to the window in my flat, overlooking the street below, was an easel. I placed it there so that I could get enough light to comfortably paint for my painstaking projects, but I also used its ingenious, thank you, placement to be able to sketch random passerbys from the street below. I slipped an apron onto my neck before bringing out a small blank canvas and some gouache paint. First person, red shirt. Oh. Bruh! Oh, well. How long has this gone on for? 15 minutes? It's gone on for 15 minutes. I guess I'll try to write more of this and then I'll continue the reading of the story. Anyway, yes. Thanks, bye.